good. It's all good. Brothers and sisters, jeez. You don't know all the time. Brothers and sisters, it's with my pleasure. Tonight's first speaker on this grand subject, Sister Semerah. She's going to be dealing with the basics to care for our mind, body, and soul. And you know, Sister Semerah, she's one of our legends here. In a very short space of time, she's carved out her own following. I don't know how she's done it, but we know from the first time she came on the platform, we saw a bright spiritual light, brothers and sisters. And I'm honored to see that she's a part of our team. I'm honored to see that, you know, we can work in the liberation of our people. Sister Semerah, how are you doing, my queen?
Oh, thank you so much, Brother Andrew. Greetings, family. It's such an honor to be here again on the platform as a speaker. Thank you ever so much for the love in the chat. I hope everyone is blessed and well, and I can't wait to share with you my topic as well as learn from our esteemed speakers. I am so gassed. I'm gassed. I'm gassed to actually listen to the fellow speakers. Greetings, one and all. I see you. I see you. It's an honor to be here. It's an absolute honor. I'm so excited for us.
and I know this is very passionate for you tonight, yes. Not just as a speaker, but this is a subject matter that's really close to your heart, beloved. And so, you know, I've been waiting for tonight. I've been literally hanging on to the chandeliers for the last 7 nights, sister, waiting for tonight. So, sister, I'm not really going to interrupt you any further. Please, let us know. I'm going to make sure you can share your screen if you need to.
Yes, please.
It's all yours, my queen. Brothers and sisters, this is going to be a powerful night by the grace of God, man. A grace of God. This is going to be a powerful night. We've got some powerful teachers with us. As you're sorting yourself out, sister, let us know when you're ready. We can roll with that. Oh, our sisters.
We're ready. I know you can see my screen, brothers and sisters. Drop some ones if you can. I believe you can.
Come on.
But drop some ones for me, please, if you can. If you can. Oh, Sister Carla, man, that was quick. That was quick, sis. Love it. Love it. Okay, I'm not going to take up too much time because we do have our esteemed guests in the wing. But brothers and sisters, it's an honor for me to share a subject matter with you that I am incredibly passionate about, and that is our mental health and well-being. I'm going to break down my session into 3 areas for us, and that is first and foremost to define mental health. And this isn't to patronize anyone. What I thought was best to do is to take it back to basics so that when we actually do conclude, so that we then have a full holistic understanding of where we sit as brothers and sisters on this journey. So I hope that's okay. So we're going to define mental health. Then we're going to look at how we can ensure that we can heal by noticing the signs and symptoms, particularly physical signs. And then we're going to make sure that we can maintain good mental health so that we can thrive. Is that all right, brothers and sisters? I hope so.
Sounds good.
Okay, so before we get into today's session, I do think it wise of me to actually share a little bit about myself, because I know that I'm still new to the family. And I truly believe in the importance of being mentally healthy. And that comes from developing very good sound coping mechanisms so that you can handle stress, but equally that we are able to recognize the greatness and gifts within, and also the greatness and gifts within others. Okay, and so this is all about looking at how we can survive and thrive academically, professionally, as well as in other areas of life. And so I feel very blessed and privileged to sit before you with some of the things that I've been able to achieve. I know what it is to have blatant, brutal racism thrown at you on a daily basis. When I lived in Spain, I worked, lived and studied in Granada, actually worked in Madrid, and had to not only perform, but also excel in a foreign country where the language is not your own, and also help others to do the same. Academically speaking, I sit before you as someone that has been the recipient of the Baroness von Schippenbach bequest, which effectively just means my university gifted me money, okay, for the best performance at undergraduate level final year. And I achieved a first-class degree at King's College London, which is a part of the Russell Group. For those of you out in the US, a first class means it's a score of 4.0 GPA. And so I know what it is in order to actually thrive and excel academically at one of the best institutions in the world. But equally, whilst working full-time, I also studied part-time law. So I did my law conversion whilst working in the city. For those of you in America, that means corporate America. So professionally, again, I know what it is to have to excel in a highly pressurized environment, as my background is anti-money laundering by profession. Anti being the key part there. I also actually help small businesses and non-for-profits with their online marketing needs. And I'm also a corporate trainer. So I've trained investment banks, hedge funds, asset managers, and private companies as well. And in actual fact, the photo that you saw there that Brother Andrew has for our promo flyer was actually taken in North Carolina in a place called Greensboro in America, where I was awarded Trainer of the Year. And this was out of 50 to 60 trainers globally for the works and service that I have done for over 160,000 people across Europe, the Americas, and Asia as well. So all of that is just to say that I totally get what I'm about to share with you professionally as well as academically. Okay, and so this is not coming from a place of theory, anything that I will be sharing with you. Along my journey, I have undertaken various external qualifications so that I'm better placed to help people to really recognize their beauty on the outside as well as inside as a beauty consultant and wellness coach. And I feel very privileged and blessed to be in a position to give back to our community, because to be very frank with you, that is actually my mission, is to make sure that I can contribute positively to our community, the welfare and well-being of our community here in the UK as well as worldwide. And so that is why I do run events and host events and help non-for-profits with their fundraising efforts. And King's has welcomed me back so that I can speak on a number of occasions to first, second, and fourth year or final year students, helping them with positive self-image, as well as how they can navigate this path of life in their future endeavors. So all of that has led me last year to certify as a mental health first aider. And whilst that is for adults, by March of this year, I will also be able to serve our young people in that same capacity. So this is not theory, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I'm going to be sharing with you in my capacity as a certified mental health first aider, but I will not be diagnosing or providing any treatment or therapy. So yes, that's where my legal background comes in. I had to put that disclaimer in. So let's get underway with what mental health actually is. Because according to the World Health Organization, or the WHO, mental health is defined as a state of well-being, okay, in which every individual, they realize their own potential, they can cope with the normal stresses of life, work productively and fruitfully, and they're able to contribute positively to their community. So I've tried to simplify that definition so that we know it's more than just a state of mind, okay? More than a state of mind. When we are mentally healthy, we know our potential and our own abilities. We can handle and cope with stress, work productively, but just as important, we can contribute to the lives of others positively. So remember, brothers and sisters, mental health is a state of holistic well-being. Now, I cannot take credit for what I'm about to share with you right now. Please take a screenshot. I should have warned you, actually, that I want you to have your pens and paper. I want you to have your camera at the ready, because I'm going to be sharing some statistics, but also some visual aids to really and truly help with our understanding of mental health. Now, mental health is a very fluid situation, as you can see here on this continuum. And I actually took this from Mental Health First Aid England. And I am going to say this before I explain this visual aid to you. If you are based here in any part of the UK, including Scotland and Northern Ireland, Wales, Canada, the US, Bermuda, South Africa, Canada as well, and there's some other countries, Spain, Portugal, and some other countries, I encourage every single one of you to embark upon the course of Mental Health First Aider, because it really helped me to understand myself, and I do believe be better positioned to help and serve other people. And that was when I was introduced to the fact that mental health truly is a fluid situation, as you can hopefully see on this quad here. So I'm going to do my best to actually illustrate to you three things. It's very intentional that I have this particular visual aid for you. The first thing is that mental health and mental illness affects us all. Let me repeat that. It affects us all. Number two, that if someone is diagnosed with a mental disorder or a mental illness, it is not a death sentence. Okay, it is not a death sentence. And number three, in order for us to remove the stigma, the unnecessary stigma attached to mental health and illness, then we need to actually understand point one and point two. Okay, so the thing is that when we actually recognize that all of us, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, etc., are actually moving along. We're moving along this range. Now, granted, some of us, it may be that our movement is quite minuscule, and for others, there may be quite a vast change. But ultimately, everybody can attest if they hear some great news, they're in the presence of their loved ones, they've heard that someone has achieved a goal of theirs, or you yourself have achieved a goal. You're more likely, correct, to be moving towards that maximum, optimum mental well-being. Equally, if someone has suffered loss, suffered a bereavement, maybe they've been made redundant or lost their job or lost their business, they're in pain. Quite realistically and logically, they're probably going to move down, okay, towards minimum mental well-being. So this is, I'm hoping, a very practical way of us now being able to see that all of us can attest to this movement of up and down. It's just to varying degrees. Where I think sometimes the stigma arises is when we look at left versus right. Now, as you can see on the left, it's where we have severe diagnosis of a mental health challenge or disorder. And then we also, on the right-hand side, have no diagnosis. Brothers and sisters, I'm here to share with you that we need to remove this stigma. If you go to my website, which you saw in the first couple of slides there, I actually, under the mental health tab, have a round table, or it was really a round table, it wasn't an interview, with a very dear friend of mine by the name of Semerah-Caring George. She actually has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder a few years ago. But I know for a fact that she is sitting here in the top left quadrant, diagnosed with a mental illness. Bipolar is definitely a mental illness and disorder. However, she thrives in life. She knows how to cope with her condition. She knows how to look after her diet and what to do to ensure that she can contribute positively to her community of East London. She's a model, she's a mom, she's a girlfriend or a long-term partner. She goes traveling. She lives a fulfilled life. Equally, there are people that we know of who haven't received an official diagnosis, but their mental health is in a poor condition. I'm not saying which would you rather be. This isn't one of those things. But what I want you to understand is that given the fact that every single human being, at least on planet Earth, is either going to be top or venturing towards the bottom, let's just have that compassion and understanding, because every single one of us can attest to moving up and down. Where it does become interesting is moving from right to left. It's very rare that someone can move back from left to right. But what I would say is that we need to be in the business of having open dialogues and conversations so that we as a community, doesn't matter if you are left or right, can do what it takes to stay in the top side of this continuum. So mental illness is definitely much more common than we would like to think. And here and now, we all have a duty of care to ourselves and to each other to remove the stigma, but it takes the right knowledge in order for us to do so. Now, the Institute of Race Relations commissioned a report last year, and they are a respected think tank. In 1958 is when they were established, and they commissioned this report. And I want us to take a look at this report, because it therefore then identifies a few things for us as Nubians, for us as Black people. Firstly, I'm going to deal with us as sisters. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but Black and ethnic minority individuals make up 20% of the UK population. We as queens, we as Black women are most likely to have experienced a common mental disorder such as depression and or anxiety. This was reported back in 2017. Brothers and sisters, nothing has changed. We are still most likely to experience anxiety or depression. Still, according to Parliament's own research, as recent as December 2021. For our kings, for our Black men out there, you are 10 times more likely than white men to experience a psychotic disorder. Us as a community are more than 4 times as likely than white people to be detained, we typically say sectioned, under the Mental Health Act of 2007. And equally, us as Black people are put on community treatment orders more than 10 times that of white people, more than 10 times. Okay, a community treatment order is where you actually receive medical treatment, psychiatric treatment, but it's outside of an institution. So you're allowed to have that care in the community, as they call it. We are put on those 10 times more than our white counterparts. The Care Quality Commission, which is actually the regulator that deals with health and social services for us in the UK, actually said that 84% of Black and minority ethnic people with a mental health issue not only wanted to raise a concern, but make a complaint about the standard of their care generally. Brothers and sisters, I'm sharing these statistics, not so that we can be downtrodden by them, but you see, when we talk about Ubuntu, and when we say that we are collective, I want us to recognize ourselves in these statistics. I am because we are, which is Ubuntu, means that I don't care if you are in the right-hand side, top right-hand side of that quadrant. If somebody else is suffering, experiencing a mental health issue or disorder, you are as well, because melanated people, if I am, you are. If you are, I am.
Sister,
if you feel that,
again.
put that a 1 in the chat if you're feeling what I'm saying.
Come
right
on,
now.
that's what I was about to say, sister.
I am because you are.
Come on, we're together on this. Teach.
So with that being said, brothers and sisters, I want us to identify certain signs and symptoms. And I am going to focus on us as the Black woman, because depression is something that is very common, but it's close to us.
Teach.
So clinical depression, which according to the World Health Organization, WHO, They're going to identify a person as being clinically depressed if they can actually say that they are experiencing at least 2 out of the 3 that you see here highlighted in bold. Brothers and sisters, take a snapshot of this, a screenshot, because I want us to use this as a checklist. Remember, I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, I will be getting onto solutions. So this is why I went through the guidelines of the WHO to actually ascertain, because obviously they write it in very convoluted language. I've done my best to simplify this for us so we have a resource to know. It's not just a sad mood.
Sister Semerah, I'm going to have to pause you, sister, because I'm getting vexed to my backside. Is hurting me now. Listen, brothers, do you understand what's happening tonight? This is the dream of Hidden Truth, man. We're trying to bring together our community, professionals, grassroots, spiritualists, junglists. I don't care who you are. But what we do, we're bringing our talent, our wisdom. Sister Semerah is breaking it down, man. We should be thanking this sister tonight, brethren. This is so beautiful. Sister Semerah, I'm not even joking, man. This is Hidden Truth, man. Let me lick shop on butt. Brothers and sisters, if you're, no, Elizabeth, don't laugh. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling Sister Semerah, all I'm going to say is, finish it off in the chat room.
Russ Bentley is here.
Finish it off in the chat room, brethren. Come on, man. Haile Selassie, teach, sisters, come on, teach.
Brothers and sisters, please use this checklist for yourselves and our loved ones. Look in your households, open up dialogues. See if someone is actually, they used to love getting their hair done. They used to love watching certain types of programs or researching things, and no longer is that the case. They've lost enjoyment for things that they used to enjoy. That's a sign. Look out for that. I'm going to say something that's slightly uncomfortable for people to talk about, which is loss or decreased libido. Brothers and sisters, we need to have a mature conversation where you can sit down with your spouse, sit down with your king and queen and say, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. With all the slackness that's in our music, we can't actually sit with our partners. We can't sit with our husband and wife and say, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on with me. We have to talk. We have to communicate and look out for what you see here on the screen. But it may not necessarily be that it is a loss of energy or a lack of energy. It could be that someone's overeating. They could be undereating. They could be sleeping too little, sleeping too much. I want you to look out for these things. Be your brother and sister's keeper. Some other physical signs for us to look out for: headaches, heart palpitations. If someone says they don't want to go somewhere, don't just think that they're being bad mind, lazy, antisocial, what do you, and them kind of things that we say. Let's park that negative talk, brothers and sisters. That's 2021 behavior. We need to understand if someone is starting to sweat, or if someone's starting to bite their nails, you can see their leg is trembling, but they're giving off vibes of confidence, but you can see that something isn't quite adding up. Do not call it out in public. Now, I come from a Caribbean background, and we know that we have a tendency to talk about things in public. Don't do that. Pull the person to one side in a private setting. It may not even be at that time that you raise it. I want you to be vigilant. I want us to make sure that we can approach this with the calmness that it needs, but also the compassion. Ask questions, but allow the person space to respond. Because sometimes when we care about someone so much, we can find it uncomfortable to ask certain questions. Don't. Give them space. Don't preempt what they're going to say. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump in. Let them talk. So you look out for these for yourself. Because remember that mental illness can happen to any of us. So before we go on to looking at some positives, please, brothers and sisters, Put a 5 in the chat if you're with me, that from tonight onwards, you are going to be a champion of change and we break the stigma, especially in our community. I want to see your 5s because I'm looking in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to hold you all to it. You know, I'm here weekly. So let's quickly look at some self-care tips. Let's look at some self-care tips. Okay. And so something that I think is so important is for us to connect with one another. You know, Sister Joy spoke at the top of the show and she said, how does this platform make you feel? It makes me feel connected to you. It makes me feel a part of change. So how does it make you feel? I saw your beautiful comments in the chat. Remember that, anchor it, and take that into your households and out there. Wear it on our backs, brothers and sisters, with a phone call, could be a video, WhatsApp call, Zoom, whatever. But you know what I'm going to say is that when you're feeling down, this is my tip for you. When you're feeling down, lift others up. When you're feeling down, lift others up by volunteering or helping a loved one do something, or just calling someone. Even if you're feeling down, when you can pour love into somebody else, it just lifts your vibration. Don't hide and don't ignore how you feel. Journal, whether it's written form or voice note, but share your journal with someone you trust, okay? The other thing is we got to move, okay? We got to move 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And by the way, movement doesn't mean, I mean, the sister in this image, I looked at her, I said, why? I have to put this in there. I don't look like her. I was like, that's right, sis. But it doesn't have to be that we're jogging or doing extensive exercise, you know, in the park. It could be that you dance. I love music. I love dancing. It doesn't have to be, you know, that you're in the gym pumping weights. When it comes to positive mental health, we have to look to our future. And that comes from setting goals and learning something new, being excited about what's ahead of us, irrespective of what we see in the now. And if I can share a quote that I wrote down from the late Bob Proctor, he actually said, don't live in the past or allow others to destroy your dreams. Don't live in the past or allow others to steal your dreams. So this is why goals are so important. Make sure that you have some short-term goals and some long-term goals as well. And so little wins are not little, because every single brick is important to the foundation and the building of a home. So do not disrespect the little wins. They all count. It doesn't have to be that you travel to Bali and therefore you're, you know, living your best life. It could be that you explore a new part of town. Did you know that Kew Gardens are actually giving people entry for £1 if you fit certain criteria? Not many people have actually been to Kew Gardens. It's stunning. So experience a new part of London. It could be that you don't even need to experience a new part of London for you to feel that you've achieved something. It could be that you choose a new menu item if you go to the same cafe or restaurant, or you cook something new. Every win counts, but I want us to sit down and have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals for you personally, your family, your profession, as well as your contribution to our community. Sleep, rest is best. I've got some advice here, so please take a screenshot, but you need to make sure that you're getting 6 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Uninterrupted sleep. Smartphones and all those devices need to go away. Equally, what we need to do is look at the importance of diet. Dr. Amsu, Brother Mark at the Raw Diet Disciple last week knocked it out the park. I'm not going to go into anything other than to say gut health is equally important. So probiotics will definitely help, but make sure you watch the replay of last week's show for sure when it comes to looking at diet. Supplementation and environment. Take a screenshot of this because I'm conscious of time. But what I am going to hone in on are the following. Everyone knows that we need to connect with source. We need to connect with nature. However, we do have some members of our community who are disabled. So please bear that in mind as well, brothers and sisters, when you are out and about and when you are thinking of your loved ones. Not everybody can do the same things that you can do. So if you know that a loved one is going to struggle to get out into nature, bring the outside in, meaning have plants and other types of nature around you. It could be like goldfish or something, but have nature in your home. Faith and spirituality are so key. All the science shows it, ironically enough, that those who are not religious necessarily, but spiritual, and we know that they are different, they connect to source. When you connect to source, you meditate, you have an attitude of gratitude, you are in your faith, you achieve inner peace, hope, and positive mental health much better, clearer, and fuller and easier. And I'm going to say these two things before I finish up. 30 to 60 minutes of happiness. That is something that we should all give ourselves every single day, 7 days a week. Mine is dancing. I love music, as most of you know, but it could be that you're watching a little bit of Netflix, you're reading something. It could be that you're writing a letter to someone you love. Whatever it is, every day, find something that you can do. Take a bath. I love baths. Candles, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your 30 to 60 minutes of happiness. Parents out there, you still need your 30 to 60 minutes of happiness, or if you have other types of dependence. And positive relationships. Toxic people get into your system. Your environment is not just what you see around you, it's what's happening within you. So you need to make sure that you have positive people around you. Positive doesn't mean they agree with everything that you say. It means that they have your best interest at heart. And so I've said here, if you can't change the people around you, then you damn well change the people around you. If you don't understand what that means, learn it. No, I'm joking. It means that you have to be able to tell certain people, I love you, but I can't have you in my space. I love you, but I need to speak to you another time. I need some distance. That is powerful, brothers and sisters. So when it comes to seeking professional help, early intervention can save your life, but make sure that it's handled with care. I've got some key points here that I want you to take a screenshot of, please. And they are as follows. Take someone that you trust to every single appointment with you. Us as Black people need to know our rights. Did you know, brothers and sisters, that you can actually request to have a Black GP or a Black professional? Yes, you can. So speak up. You have a voice, use it. Equally, looking at talking therapies and counseling and other types of therapies may actually be really useful. Joining some groups, just connecting with our brothers and sisters is great. On the NHS, a lot of these services are free. There are a lot of charities where you can get access to talking therapies and other types of psychological therapies, either free of charge or for a nominal amount. Equally, I've got some websites here where you can check that someone who's a private therapist is actually qualified. So I want to leave you with some useful contacts. Take a screen grab of this for our brothers and sisters across the pond in the States. I've not forgotten about you. So that's why you see their melanin and mental health. So you can access a Black-owned directory of therapists across the US. But I want to leave you with this, brothers and sisters, and that is to say, I'm wearing my t-shirt for a reason. This t-shirt means a lot to me. Because in order for us to choose our future, we have to be able as a people to understand and heal from our past and deal with our present and move as one force, move as one people into our future. You know, Dr. Vera said it earlier that we are one people. And I want us to choose us, represent us, do what is best for us. Then we can be the architects to build our lives and our communities and the future generations. Brother Andrew, thank you so much for allowing me to share my passion.
Come on, brothers and sisters. If you're gonna lick shop on Babylon, this is the, oh God, look at Jarita. Brothers and sisters, this is Sister Semerah's first time. And look at Sister Jurita. Oh my God. Sister, look at the ones being dropped in the chat room. Sister, you was clinical. I want you to understand that. No gassing you, sister. This, I mean, you went over time, and I will deal with you on that one, okay? But beloved, I could not stop you. I couldn't stop you, sister. That was brothers and sisters. Are you not proud to have this sister as a part of your community? Let the sister know that, man. That was amazing. Sister Jurita, I mean, you turned your camera on, which you normally don't do like that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I don't know if you can hear it, but my finger's sore now. But
oh,
one more time.
Wow, Jurita.
Okay, that was good.
How was that?
Actually, there's a lot of things that I think lots of us need to take on board from there. Things that we take for granted in terms of the choices that we can make every day. And sometimes we do. I mean, the thing that resonated with me the most was the thing where you said, you know, if there's certain people around you, you can say to them, right now, it's probably not the time. I have a few people that of late I've had to do that with.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about it. You know, you do it and you think, oh my God, like I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I could have given them 10 minutes or, you know, but to give them that 10 minutes at that time would have been draining for me, you know? And
come on.
But you feel guilty. And so it was nice to hear that actually, no, you know, sometimes you just have to have that barrier. So thank you so much for giving us some insight and for actually making us feel that we need to put our own mental health first, I guess. You know, it's not a stigma. And it's something that we, you know, we all will need to address at some point in time. And it was nice to hear it from you. You put it down, girl. You put it down. Nice.
Sister China is reminding us. We want to thank Sister China, part of our admin team behind the scenes. She's reminding us that Sister Semerah said to set goals and learn something new. Sleep 6 to 9 hours. 30 to 60 minutes of happy, healthy relationships. Use your voice, choose your future. Wow. Come on, Sister China. You remind us. Sister Helen says, amazing presentation. Thank you, sister. Brother Brian in Washington says, we see and hear Jurita finger snappies. Because when Jurita gets excited, man, I don't know. Sister Tessa